Chapter 10. The two men stood on the trail. Their relaxed yet confident posture offered no sign of urgency or distress. Grace tried to listen to their conversation, but only heard bits and pieces. "Just found her there. Long time by herself. Rob sent her down. Gonna be surprised when she sees us." It occurred to Grace that the men were referring to her. She deduced the Rob they mentioned was the same Robert she met earlier at the hut. The girl seemed nice enough, if perhaps only artificially, but Robert had been unusually curious to know everything Grace could tell them. He insisted that she stay and tell them what happened. "Night hiker's my ass," Grace thought. "He's one of them." Robert was a member of the clean-up party sent to remove any evidence of the outbreak. The girl, too. Had to be. Grace was sure of it. She recalled what Roy had said about how they used to dispose of the remaining survivors in order to keep the secret quiet. Oh my God. She had to keep moving. But how would she move about the mountain if not via the trail? If she broke away and ventured into the woods, the armed men below would certainly hear her unsteady footfalls on the loose ground, sticks and dried leaves. Maybe they wouldn't hurt her, though. Maybe they had food. She watched one of the men put a canteen to his lips and take a long sip. Her body ached for something to drink, and her stomach again groaned loudly. A bit too loudly. The two men turned at once, their weapons aimed in Grace's direction. Shit! Even from a distance, they had heard the rumble from her stomach. Grace remained low to the ground and watched the men through a tangle of branches from the fallen tree. They couldn't see her. "You heard that, right?" one of them asked, his voice low. "Yeah," said the other. "Up there." He gestured in Grace's direction. "Animal?" "Could be." There was a protracted silence before one of them uttered, "Think it's a moaner?" The man who spoke first gave the other a look of fear and concern. "I fucking hope not, but we would be wise to be sure." Moaner? Grace thought, and she quickly became disgusted with the notion of yet another moniker for the dead. "Let's go," said the other, eyes open. Grace watched as they readied their weapons and trained them on the trail not far from where she remained concealed. "Who's there?" one of them called out. "Come on out. We're not going to hurt you. We're just—" He paused a moment, and Grace realized it was only a stalling mechanism, while he tried to think of a reasonable explanation as to why they were there, and heavily armed. "We heard some people got hurt on the mountain. We're here to help. So come on out." Grace rolled her eyes. Was this man serious? Did he truly think he could fool anyone by saying that while carrying such a huge gun? Grace began to consider whether she could outrun them on the trail, or through the woods for that matter, in her weakened condition. They would be weighed down by their munitions, but they looked muscular and not starved like Grace. Aside from the two men, she would also have fatigue and hunger trying to bring her down. Her chances of escaping alive and unharmed would be minimal. She remained quiet and watched as they slowly approached her position. If only she could create a diversion, she might have a greater chance of getting away from them. Then, as if God, in some twisted way, answered her prayer, a diversion crawled up behind her, only not the kind she'd hoped for.